Yo, welcome back to another episode of Vass Reacts. We got Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer, DC versus Marvel. What's up with death battles, all these DC versus Marvel type of squares, which we all want to happen and see actually happen, but it's death battle. So, if you've been watching me for a minute, we're gonna roll to 1K subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a milestone. We're gonna get up there. So, if you've been watching me for a while, I get my whoever I think gonna win before the stats and after the stats. Personally, I already know the statistics of both of these people, but we're gonna watch them anyway because I don't know if y'all. I mean, y'all should know these characters. I got Silver Surfer. This is like an unstoppable matchup. Like Martian Manhunter is afraid of fire. How are you beating that? Martian Manhunter is afraid of fire. So, yeah, I got Silver Surfer. Before, after, it doesn't even matter. Let's get right into it.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Netflix's One Piece and Shady Rays.
I can't wait for that to come out. That One Piece. Rooster Teeth. They update. They look a little. They rebranded.
Martian Manhunter, DC's Space Ranger.
The Silver Surfer, Marvel's Sentinel of the Spaceways.
The depths of space hold secrets beyond our comprehension, but these sage superheroes have seen more of it than any of us could ever hope to.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Silver Surfer.
For as long as mankind has looked upon the night sky, the stars have beckoned the brave to search the unknown and explore its endless wonders.
Like Dr. Saul Erdell, who's kind of a doctor in the same way Dr. Pepper is a doctor.
I'm also interested. I want to hear these backstories as well.
This guy's
See how
got
they
no
became
formal
the-
education, but that didn't stop him from messing around with some ancient tech he stumbled upon.
He was desperate to live out his boyhood dreams of exploring the cosmos. So with the tech's advanced capabilities, Erdell created a machine that would bring the cosmos to him.
He pointed the machine at Mars, pushed a button, and hoped for the best. And it worked! Erdell summoned a real-life Martian right before his very eyes. So remember, kids, when in doubt, just push buttons. Never fails.
The
That's the
mysterious and
laboratory. Love
powerful
it.
alien known as John Jones, the Martian Manhunter, immediately started using his incredible powers in front of the Doctor, like mind reading and shape-shifting.
Which was just the tip of Erdell's discoveries. Turns out, Martians have complete control over their bodies and can
bro.
transform
I used to. Oh wait,
into
that's a weird
practically
pause.
anything.
Justice League Unlimited. Oh, I think this is just. Yeah, that is. I think this is Justice League Unlimited. It was great. I haven't watched it when it came out on Cartoon Network. I believe it came on WB Kids. If y'all remember that, no cable gang. So
Like a freaking
it was
dragon,
great
an
stuff.
exact
I just
duplicate
wasn't
of Wonder
used to
Woman
it.
down to her central nervous
But I loved
system,
it, though.
or even a totally generic green monster that loves Choco cookies.
They can also shoot lasers from their eyes, fire psionic blasts, turn invisible, and phase through anything. Even Green Lantern constructs and force fields that Superman couldn't get through.
On top of all that, they've got a crazy healing factor. John has regenerated back from a single limb, tiny pieces, or even a puddle of goo.
This
Okay, I ain't know all
display of
this.
awe-inspiring power overwhelmed Dr. Erdell's poor human heart and caused him to die in the Martian's arms.
It'll give him a heart attack.
Well, at least he accomplished his goal before he bit the red dust, right? Anyway, John used his shape-shifting abilities to hide amongst his new world by assuming the identity of a recently
Batman
deceased
Brave with the Bold.
detective named
Loved it.
John Jones. God, what a crazy
Named after the UFC fighter, John Jones.
coincidence, comic book writer, you clever man.
Detective John Jones lived a double life on Earth for many years, solving cases and helping as many people as he could from the shadows. But eventually, he stepped out, revealing himself to the world, and helped found the Justice League of America.
And John definitely holds his own in the supergroup. He once pulled the Earth alongside Wonder Woman and Superman, who has stated that of all the beings in the known universe, he would be afraid to fight John.
And he should be afraid. Superman wouldn't be the first Kryptonian John has gone toe-to-toe with. He's manhandled Ultraman, who's basically evil Superman from another universe, and Superboy Prime, who can shatter reality with his punches, and is also evil Superman from another universe.
He took a blast from Asmodel, the king angel from a literal army of heaven. He's held his own against Darkseid, the manifestation of tyranny in the DC universe. And he's fast enough to catch up to Supergirl and Superman, who we know flies so fast he can burst the bonds of infinity. So basically, he's just as strong and just as fast as a bunch of crazy gods and demons.
While Jean's strength and speed are obviously very impressive, it's also no secret that his greatest asset is his mind. He's one of the most powerful telepaths in all of the DC universe.
He reads minds, duh, but he can also shut them down altogether. And he once made Mr. Plexiglass, Mr. Mixed Pickles, your name, that's whatever. Anyway, he got him to subconsciously say his own name backwards, which God only knows because I can't say it forwards, which canceled out his powers.
His psychic defenses were strong enough to protect the Justice League against a worldwide telepathic attack, and his ability to sense people's feelings is so strong, he can feel every sentient being in the entire galaxy.
And he once outthought Perpetua from the Omniverse. Who's that, you ask? Oh, just a frickin' creator of the entire multiverse. She's basically the god of everything.
Jean needed to connect his consciousness with everyone on Earth before...
I said maybe I was too harsh on you, Martin. Just John Jones.
Perpetua could
I
catch
apologize
up.
for my
He pulled this off
John
by using
Jones.
his mental abilities within the span of
Damn, I ain't know all
time.
this. I
Literally
can
the
afraid of
smallest
fire.
possible measurement
I need
of
certain stuff
time.
about-
In the
I ain't
time
knew
it takes
about
you to count to
half this
1,
shit.
Jean could count to 1 and fly across the universe and back over 200 sextillion times.
He outthought
What?
God. He's a faster thinker.
So if I say
than
1, he already done
God.
flew around.
And it didn't end there.
So if I be like, so he said count to 1. If I be like 1, the man already just flew around the Earth that many times. Ain't no fucking way.
John took a punch from her and walked away with
I've
just a
been
bloody
asleep.
nose.
I ain't gonna
And
lie,
when
I'm
she
woke.
disintegrated him into basically nothing, he regenerated back from a hit from God.
Batman has said that in order to kill Jean for good, you would have to literally destroy every single atom in his body, one by one.
God damn. If I didn't love alliteration so much, I'd say we change this guy's name to Martian God Hunter or something. He's basically invincible, right?
Not quite. Jean is not without weakness. He has a very real vulnerability to fire. At times, it has completely overwhelmed him to the point where he loses control of his body.
And not just literal fire either. Jean was once tricked into just thinking he was surrounded by fire, and that was enough for him.
Even still, Jean has been able to overcome this weakness. He's fought enemies with fire abilities and even taken hits from fire attacks, which leads me to believe the weakness, while potent and still able to cause real physical harm, is mainly psychosomatic.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I heard what you said. Weakness to fire is just in your head.
No. Different.
Not how
Like
you
Daniel
would've done it.
Radcliffe.
I'll be a living God! Another win in the mind column for sure. And to think there's a whole planet of these guys out there.
Unfortunately, that's no longer the case. Before Dr. Erdel's strange experiment, Jean's own brother used the Martians' telepathic connection to each other against them, and the
No
entire
trippy.
planet was plagued with Ronmir's curse.
As long as they stayed telepathically connected, every Martian was vulnerable to a mental fire that would overwhelm them and burn them from the inside out.
Which sadly worked very well, because the fear of fire is something Jean shares with his fellow Martians. Centuries earlier, the Guardians of the Universe, a group of immortal aliens who run the Green Lantern Corps, feared that the Martian race could become too strong. So they programmed the Martians with that genetic weakness to fire.
John
Oh,
was
that's
able to
fucked.
survive the fiery curse by cutting
That's
off his
fucked
mental
up.
connection to his people,
So-
including his family.
So if that wasn't the case, they would have been OP.
Unfortunately, his wife, Myria, and their daughter couldn't live with the isolation, and he had no choice but to watch them give in and burn alive. Damn.
Oh, that's
Racked
fucked up.
with grief and survivor's guilt, Jean was left to wander his homeworld all alone. His only solace being shape-shifting into his lost loved ones to convince himself they were still alive.
Oh my God.
That's
Jesus,
also fucked up.
John. That is so sad.
That pain has
real.
undoubtedly shaped who Jean is. In fact, the trauma he held onto so tightly formed a literal spiritual connection with those lost souls. A telepathic connection so strong, it kept them from finding peace in an afterlife. Let me say that again. His grief and telepathy were so strong, he prevented an entire race of people from moving on to the afterlife.
It
That's
wasn't
fucked
until
up.
years later that John could return to Mars and release
God
those souls souls by
Damn.
finally letting go.
You know how much strong you gotta be spiritually to keep thinking about your peoples and they don't even move on to the next plane?
Not to forget them, but
Damn.
to embrace his new life and his new home, a place he would defend time.
Like imagine like the higher up be like you about to cross over and the higher up like, well whatever y'all believe in, God be like, nah, you can't come to this because your loved one is still thinking about y'all. So once he stopped, then y'all can cross over. Damn.
Time and time again to make sure the Earth never suffers a fate similar to
What, he just
Mars.
put a
To
hole through
experience
that
all
man
of
heart.
that, to truly know what it feels like to be alone in the vast universe, but
Damn.
continue to use your wisdom and power to help
That
those
man
in
was
need
high. Ain't
is
no
what
way.
makes the Martian
This is a
Manhunter
kid's
such
show.
a noble hero.
On a planet packed with other incredible heroes, John really has set himself apart.
I ain't gonna lie,
He's
he look
risen through the
crazy.
ashes and emerged, the heart and soul of the Justice League.
Aw, that was sad.
This episode's
And home to
Surfer.
Norrin Rad, which I've gotta say is the sickest, most radical
Cartoon
name
is
I have
this?
ever heard in my entire life. He was a brainy kid who was raised to live a life of reason and intellect over
Okay,
one
I
of
never knew
gnarly
Silver Surfer
adventure.
that.
That is until the technologically
This is literally
advanced
the first. I
society
never
came
knew
under
this.
threat from the devourer of worlds, Galactus.
Galactus.
So Norrin struck up a deal with the World Muncher. In exchange for sparing his planet, Mr. Red offered to leave his home behind, become Galactus's herald, and seek out new planets for him to scarf down.
And once Galactus agreed to the deal, he imbued his new herald with the power cosmic, transforming him into the Silver Surfer.
An equally tubular name. 2 for 2. Wow, you rarely see it.
The power cosmic grants the Surfer near unlimited energy, as well as matter manipulation, phasing, super strength, speed, and invulnerability, just to name a few.
The Surfer's basically got all of Galactus' space magic, just on a smaller scale. And Galactus uses that power to fight guys like the In-Betweener, an abstract being from the overspace.
The Surfer used the power cosmic to serve Galactus diligently for nearly 100 years, during which he ensured that the planets consumed were devoid of sentient life.
That is, until the Surfer accidentally offered up a planet with life, which drove him crazy with guilt. So Galactus tried his best to suppress the Surfer's emotions, erase the painful memories, and make it easier for him to find planets with tasty, delicious life, guilt-free. How nice of him.
And it worked for a while
Man's be eating planets like fucking planets like apples.
until the Surfer reached Earth. Galactus's mighty mind manipulation wasn't enough to bury the Surfer's true nature for good. With the help of Alicia Masters and the Fantastic Four, the Surfer turned against his overlord and saved the Earth from being eaten.
I remember
But
this
even
cartoon.
after all of that, Galactus just let the Surfer keep his powers. At any point, he could have just taken them back.
Being
Oh,
the
fuck,
source
yeah.
of the Surfer's
I don't
powers,
remember
yes,
that,
he
do ya?
could. But Galactus has continued to let the Surfer have the power cosmic out of respect for his first herald.
Damn.
Aw,
See, that's
he
the
was
kind of
always
respect
in
I'm
the
asking
shade.
from you.
Aw,
Anyway, ever since
he was a spoiled child.
those mental gymnastics with Galactus, the Surfer made sure nothing like that would ever happen again.
And he's been successful, like when Psycho Man failed to trick the Surfer with his illusions, or when he was briefly trapped in the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the Mind Stone.
With some of those mental threats behind him, he could finally take to the spaceways, kick ass, and monologue about the meaning of life in the universe.
All of which he's quite good at, especially that last one. It's thanks to the abilities afforded to him through all that cosmic energy.
It's seriously crazy. He can rearrange the molecules of anything he wants into anything he wants. He can force you to just feel pain in general, and he can even control elements. Not just earth, wind, and fire, but anything in a boogie wonderland like gravity and the weather.
He's got enough power and energy
I mean, I
inside
kinda
him that
already
he
knew, like,
once
most of
created an infant star to serve as a new light source in a universe devoid of light.
So just when he needed it, he was able to pop out a baby son? That's convenient.
That's the power cosmic.
But we can't forget about the sick board he shreds the stars with. This thing's basically an extension of himself. He can transform it into a sweet sword or into pure cosmic energy. And if it breaks, he can just form a new one.
On his board, the Surfer has traveled at incalculable speeds on multiple
The world's
occasions.
fastest
He can fly
surfer.
faster than Thor, and even once flew so fast he reached the future.
Even without his board, he once broke free from energy shackles that would zap away his power within the next nanosecond. Gnarly, brah. He once outsurfed a wave of universal destruction. He had to surf out of all of existence as it was being torn apart. Now, I've seen some choice waves in my day, but if you ask me, that's one too best for watching on the beach with a brew.
You're hitting it real hard with all this surfing lingo. He's honestly not that kind of guy at all.
Righteously disagree with you, dude. You are carving up my brainwaves
Comment in the video if y'all know how to surf, because I don't.
into an
I always
A-frame
wanted to learn
swell that
how to
I
surf.
just can't bail. I'm
I
wax,
feel like my
man,
balance,
wax.
my fear
The
of deep
Silver
water
Surfer is a
wouldn't work
tragic
out.
figure who is always weighing his choices through every angle of morality. Like when he set out to destroy the new host of the Star Brand, an energy source that grants his wielders virtually infinite power, capable of wiping out all life on Earth.
The Star Brand seems to choose a new unknowing host at random. Could be a good guy, could be the most evil person to ever exist. But despite that threat, the Surfer spared the new Star Brand once he found out she was carrying a child.
He decided to bear the weight of any potential consequences on his own shoulders, instead of squashing any and all hope that the child would use that power for good.
I get it. He's a righteous dude on a surfboard.
Exactly. And in the Surfer's
Totally,
case, a
bruh.
keen sense of morality also comes with a keen sense of his surroundings in general.
Fantastic Four: The Rise of the Silver Surfer was a good movie. It was just shitty. I want to see more Surfer in the MCU.
In the Surfer's case, a keen sense of
It was just
morality
shitty.
also comes with a
It was a
keen
great
sense
movie.
of his surroundings in general. He can see enemies even when they're invisible and can sense incoming threats, to the point where he can sense someone approaching even before they've left their own home.
He can also absorb energy his opponents throw at him. Anything from psionic energy to a freaking star. The Surfer can even do it when he's on death's door. Hey, Wiz, what do you think the doormat on death's door says? Probably like, knock 'em dead, right?
What are you talking? Now, it does take a lot to
It's a
get the Surfer
long-ass
to
dice.
death's door. He's taken a blast from the Infinity Stones, survived being smashed into pieces, crashed into the Big Bang, and played catch with a star.
He caught it and then threw it right back at that punk Deadpool. Ha! I hope you like a big ball of gas in your face, you tool.
Reed
always
Richards, the
him.
smartest man
I feel like he
alive,
would be
has
the
said that
only
the Surfer
one
is probably the
that can
most
catch it.
powerful being in all the galaxy.
And even after years spent drifting through the galaxy, he's still built
think I read
strong
that comment.
bonds, like with the Fantastic Four, the Defenders, and with people like Dawn Greenwood.
But somehow, he always ends up alone in space, searching for answers, searching for beings that need his help, searching for something that could replace the home that he lost all those years ago.
Only to be weighed down by the guilt of his servitude and the pain of his sacrifice, which was ultimately done in vain. Cause it doesn't seem to matter what the Surfer does. Zenla is destined for destruction. At this point, his home world has been destroyed 4 times over.
Despite it all, this tragic hero still manages to take everything in stride as he surfs the stars and fights tirelessly to preserve every being's right to live.
It's time for a damn battle. We watch the stats. I'ma say Silver Surfer. And to me, it's a tie. They both sound OP as fuck. But the thing is, Martian Manhunter, fear is just in his mind. But both of them being alone at the end of the day is kind of sad as fuck. But I'ma still say Silver Surfer. I'm leaning on like 25, 50 Silver Surfer, 50 Martian Manhunter. I'm leaning towards Silver Surfer, but I want to see how it comes to be.
Are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
After,
It's
ooh, that's my favorite iteration of the Silver Surfer. Ooh,
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run
I ain't gonna, we need a Marvel Injustice game. Like this video.
the
if y'all
data
enjoy.
through all.
Bam, Superhero Squad Silver Surfer, the fucking greatest Silver Surfer of all time, and y'all cannot disagree with that. Like this video if you like the Superhero Squad Silver Surfer.
Possibilities.
It's time
Greatest
for
version of
a
Silver
death
Surfer.
battle!
Alright, let's go, let's go.
In
We
all
got a little
of my
arcadey
journeys,
feel.
I have
mixed
never
with some
seen
realness.
anything quite like this.
I assumed your journeys would have made you rather familiar with places like this, Nordenrad. Or should I say, Silver Surfer? Now, tell me why you have summoned me here.
Enough!
Is it black and white? Oh, that was gonna be black
What
and
are
white.
you hiding?
Power
Tell
of Cosmos,
me
baby.
yours.
to us and create.
I must end this.
I like how they try to recreate the Fantastic Four movie with him coming out like that. Shadow came early.
There's no use in hiding. I can feel your presence.
I like the blending animation. Love the blending animation. 2D, 3D-ish. Love it. It's like this fight going in early. He's going into the sun. Oh, I can get this.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's in his mind.
Martian might. Your will is admirable, but will alone is not enough. Feel the pain. You and I possess the same knowledge. That only one of us can survive, and we know not why.
Man, I feel like if they was to really meet, they'll be cool. This fight seems so relaxing. It's not even like hype and
the uncertainty.
but I feel like they'll be cool. Yeah, he cried for him.
Victory comes with no certain
Yeah, Silver
satisfaction.
Surfer, no
I will
div.
never know why we were made to fight. If violence is ever truly justified. But perhaps there is something worthy in the battle.
Myria.
Something beyond my understanding.
I just got goosebumps.
KO!
It was
Wiz,
so-
What the hell are we doing? Why are we forcing such beautiful souls to fight
Yeah,
to the
it was
death?
so
Both
mellow.
the Silver
and
Surfer and the Martian Manhunter were
sad.
two extraordinarily powerful beings,
It's like you didn't even want them to fight. It was mellow and sad.
each with very wide power sets.
So
Damn.
they both had counters for almost everything they could throw at each other. They could both phase through objects, rearrange molecules, and regenerate their own bodies.
But arguably the biggest thing on the Martian Manhunter's side was his formidable telepathy. The Surfer has had his memories erased and his emotions manipulated by Galactus. So it would stand to reason that Jean could pose a mental threat to the Surfer.
But the Surfer has resisted mental attacks many times. When Psycho Man played on the Surfer's guilt and pretended to be his lost love, the Surfer saw right through it, and he escaped the Supreme Intelligence's mind when it was using the frickin' Mind Stone.
These two could have gone toe-to-toe around the universe for a long time. But when it came down to it, the question was, who had the power to put the other down for good?
They both have some serious healing factors and have come back from basically nothing. But if ending Martian Manhunter meant destroying his every atom one by one, the Surfer has the means to make that happen thanks to the seemingly endless well of energy that is the power cosmic.
It's truly an overwhelming source of unlimited power. And outside of Galactus stripping the power away from him, the Surfer is never without it.
It's like
Not
a
even a
battery.
rogue
Even if
Bruce
Sean
can
could
take
drain
that much
all of the
power.
cosmic energy, the Surfer can just recharge it. And he's used that power to destroy planets, defeat Galactus-level threats, and can basically accomplish anything with it.
While both of these philosophic heroes tend to hold back out of a respect for life, there's obviously no holding back here, and the depth of Silver Surfer's abilities gave him the win.
This Martian was harsh in his mellow, so the Surfer had to wave goodbye. Bodacious, Cowabunga, Hang Ten, Ninja Turtles.
The winner is the Silver Surfer.
It was sad. It was a sad fight.
Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.
I
We have a new
wasn't- I
Death
didn't
Battle
even feel
releasing
sad.
every
It was
2
just
weeks this
sad to
year.
watch.
And click the join button to get new perks and extra content. Planet
That
level
was
members
nice.
even see Death Battles before anyone else, so don't miss out.
My Little Pony versus Bill Cyphers. Discord. His name is Discord. His name is Discord. I never knew that. His name is Discord. Wow, I never knew that. I haven't seen him as much on My Little Pony, but I know about Bill Cipher though. Your name Discord. I never knew that. That's crazy. Well, now we knew who won. This was a calm, mellow fight. Kind of feel sad for both of them. Silver Surfer won. Yeah, eesh. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all like the video. Like, subscribe, comment. See y'all next time.